Thank you, Zimbabwe, for tuning into yet another informative edition of your program. You are watching Agricultural New Directions, Agribusiness, in support of Vision 2030. Now, we would have done an injustice to Zimbabwean agribusiness if we do not talk about livestock. Livestock is deemed as a sign of wealth in general when it comes to African communities. And today we are going to be talking about the trading within the livestock industry. We are coming to you from CC Sales, where there is an auction underway, where sellers have come with their cattle from different studs, from different breeds and breeders, as well as sellers. This is where they converge to try and purchase the best breeds, the best genetics of their herd. We're going to cross over and speak to Kevin Higgins, the managing director of CC Sales. Stay tuned. At this point in time, we've taken the liberty of inviting Kevin Higgins. He is the managing director here at CC Sales in Westgate. Kevin, thank you so much for affording us an opportunity to visit your platform.
What a pleasure. Thank you, Wadzi, for coming.
Yes. As we get into this discussion, it's 2025, Kevin. Today, what is on sale? What are you auctioning? What do we have today?
We have approximately 400 head on offer here today. It's a cross-section of cattle. There will be cattle here that farmers have thrown out of their herd that no longer have breeding value. There will be young stock progeny of those cattle that would be surplus to requirements. We will have communal cattle originating from the communal areas here as slaughter stock. Really a cross-section of cattle here. So breeding stock, slaughter stock, and long-term cattle as well.
Okay, now Kevin understands that this place is very famous for livestock auctioneering. Do you also do any other sales aside from livestock? And in that case, what are they?
So livestock is our primary concern,
Okay.
but we do sell farm equipment and machinery as well. We've got a lot of that here in the yard, as you can see, and that we will sell from time to time by public auction or out of hand.
Okay, looking at your livestock section, we have people who come wanting to participate,
Yes.
either as buyers or as sellers.
Right.
What are the prerequisites for someone to join this platform, either as a buyer or as someone who's looking to purchase or to sell, to give off his livestock?
So it's very easy. As a buyer, you simply need to register with us on the day of the sale. You can do it earlier if you choose. And the buyers are required to leave with us a $1,000 surety deposit. Once they've done that, we will take their particulars and then they will get what's called a buyer's card. And that allows them to participate and bid on the cattle. And then once they've finished their purchases, obviously if they owe a little more than $1,000, whatever it may be, they're required to settle that up. If they don't buy, they get their money back, a refund, whatever the difference may be. As a seller, they quite simply phone us, book in their cattle with us, get a description of what it is they want to sell. That way we can then advertise their product in advance of the sale.
Okay.
And then they would go through the normal veterinary protocols and police protocols to have the cattle delivered here. And then we receive the cattle the day before the auction. We sort them into similar lots. So, you know, the females would be sorted into females, males into males, and then we'd sort by grade, by breed type, and by size, so that what we offer here today, and any day for that matter, is a uniform parcel of cattle that is appealing to the buyer.
Okay.
So it's quite simple, as you know, either end, buyer or seller, very simple to participate.
Now, Kevin, you would find that there are certain regulations or stipulations that you have put in place to ensure uniformity, smooth running of your operations or your auction day. What sort of regulations have you put in place that either a buyer or a seller needs to adhere to so that there is a smooth running of this operation?
Yeah, absolutely. So I think from a seller's point of view, all the sellers are required to meet certain veterinary and police protocols. So before the cattle can be delivered, they would need to get a veterinary movement permit from the government veterinary department. And that would be issued once the veterinary department had inspected the cattle and made sure that they are healthy and well. And then they require a police clearance certificate. So again, the police visit the farm, identify the cattle to the seller. And once that's all good, then the cattle are loaded onto a commercial transport. They're delivered here the day before the sale. Once they arrive here, again they're received by the veterinary department, who inspect them once again, physically and visually. and then we sort them into the lots as we've described.
Okay, as a seasoned cattleman who's been in this business of auctioneering, connecting buyers to sellers and ensuring that things are done honestly, everyone benefits. What is the importance that you'd want to say the core essence of having these auction sales?
So we have cattle sale pens countrywide. So we are giving farmers an opportunity to sell cattle in a competitive and transparent environment. They deliver their cattle here, and they are able to take advantage of many buyers that congregate at a sale like this. I think it's best demonstrated by considering a communal farmer who's got 2 oxen to sell. He's in a remote area. How does he sell them? He's either dealing with a speculator or he's dealing with, mkorokoza as we know them. And he's immediately at a disadvantage. At the same time, the buyer is at a disadvantage. He has to travel over a rough road. He has to then negotiate the purchase of 2 cattle, which is going to be very, very expensive to transport anywhere. Your economies of scale would say that you want to fill a truckload. So that same communal farmer now delivers his cattle to the sale. There's 2 oxen here and they're part of the 400.
Yeah.
He's immediately leveraging on all these other cattle. He's got 10, 20, maybe more buyers bidding on his animal. There's a competitive element there, there's a transparency there, and he's leveraged off all the other sellers.
Okay.
What a pleasure.
Yes.
This is his opportunity to add real value to his cattle.
Now, Kevin, you would find that for people who want to participate, I want us to speak about this premise. How do you ensure security that when a person brings in their livestock, it's not stolen? People can be skeptical at times. This is an investment we are speaking about. To ensure safety, to ensure hygiene and sanitation in cases maybe of disease spread. How are you ensuring safety from both theft or any other occurrences that might happen whenever the livestock is within this premise? How are you taking care of this premise?
Right, so I think the first thing to appreciate is that all the cattle that are sold here have come with a police clearance certificate. So they've been identified to the seller. So there's comfort in knowing that all these cattle here have been cleared by the police, and in theory none of them should be stolen cattle. There's always the odd one that might escape the net, but that's very, very rare. And then here at the premises itself, it's walled, it's gated, it's got a security fence on top of the walling, and we have night guards and day guards, and we look after the cattle here. And then once again, before the cattle leave, the police will inspect them once again and issue a police clearance certificate stating that the cattle that originate from this premises are clean.
Yes.
And they can move freely.
Thank you so much, Kevin, for encouraging our Zimbabwean farming community in terms of engaging you and also participating on such platforms which are good for them to ensure that they are getting cattle that are healthy, not stolen, good breeds, which you can yourself attest to them. It was a pleasure having you with us on this segment.
Thank you for coming.
On that note, viewers, have come to the end of the first segment. We're going to go on a short commercial break. We'll be right back with this and more in the second segment. Stay tuned. Thank you, viewers, for staying tuned to Agricultural New Directions, Agribusiness, in support of Vision 2030. We are here looking at livestock trading, where we have buyers and sellers who have converged today at CC Sales to try and purchase and get the best breeds out of our livestock industry. Now, viewers, I encourage you to be a part of these conversations. Feel free to get in touch with the producer, Wadzanai Manyore, so 0772-807-506. Alternatively, you can like our Facebook page, Agribusiness with Wadzanai. Make a follow-up on this episode and more, and leave your comments and suggestions. They are most welcome to us. Our YouTube channel is Agribusiness with Wadzanai. We are also now available on X, formerly known as Twitter, at Agribusiness 110. We also have a vibrant, thriving community on LinkedIn. Is at Wadzanai Manyore. Now we're going to go and cross over and talk to one of the breeders who's here, who's going to be enlightening us on the activities and what he's looking forward to in regards to today's sale. Stay tuned. At this point in time, I've taken the liberty of speaking to one participant on this event, Kingdom of Jonimbo Boranstad, who's also participating today at CC Sales. Kingdom, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you very much, Wazan.
Yes, as we get into our discussion, Kingdom, today what are you doing here? In what capacity have you come? Are you a buyer? Are you a seller? And what steps did you have to take to be accommodated or to be a part of today's event?
I'm here as a buyer and as a seller, so I'm putting on two jackets. As a buyer, I have invested a deposit of $1,000 US. I am actually interested in buying some Boran heifers, which I have seen here that look in calf.
Okay.
So as a buyer, that's the jacket I'm wearing. But as a seller, I've also brought here about 10 cows that I'm intending also to sell at the auction.
Now, Kingdom, you would find that a lot of farmers might be skeptical when it comes to having these auction setups where they say it's too expensive, it's too expensive, I cannot afford it, or they might not even see the value in participating in such platforms. What are your sentiments? What have you discovered? I understand that you're a seasoned Boran breeder. What have you discovered along the way in terms of participating on such platforms? What is the importance of a Zimbabwean farmer to participate in such events?
Thanks for the question, Wazi. I mean, a platform like this becomes a center. It becomes a site where farmers from different parts of the country come and converge and intersect and share on their practices at the farm. But more than that, it is a site where the seller is going to get a fair price because there's a competitive price.
Okay.
There are many buyers that have been assembled here. There are many sellers that also have been assembled here. So it becomes a center where the two are interfacing. And we are eliminating those Korokoza buyers who come and want to take your cattle for nothing, which is next to stock theft.
Okay.
So to avoid that kind of stock theft, we have this platform where you have a bidder. He says he wants to buy your cow at such a price. And if you are not happy with the price that Kevin has bid, you're free. You've got the liberty to say no, not sold.
Now, Kingdom, I want us to speak about your stud. I understand that you're a seasoned Boran stud breeder. What activities or what do you look at when you say I'm going to be taking this cattle to for selling at the auction? What are you looking for in terms of what you release and also what you are looking to purchase?
Most of the times when you are a breeder, which I am, you need to find yourself bringing quality cattle.
Yes.
So that your name will spread far and wide and you create a brand for your breed. So this is also a platform to showcase what you have.
Okay.
And as much as you are having your cattle auctioned, people are also looking at the work that you have done at the farm. So this is a place, this is a site where farmers can come and display what they've been doing for years. So when I bring my cattle here, I have to look for the best.
Okay.
When I look at the cow, when I look at the bull, when I look at the heifer, if I am happy with with its body score condition, with its skin, with its look, I will bring it here because I know that somebody else also is looking at the same mombe and is appreciating it in the same way that I'm doing. And I'm expecting the same because, like I said earlier on, I've seen some Boran cows here and the heifers that are up for sale just in a couple of minutes here.
Okay.
And when you look at them, they look perfect.
Okay.
And I believe a breeder with a brand on those cattle would want to sell the best.
Now, Kingdom, what could have inspired you to be a Boran breeder? Why are you not a Mashona breeder? Why are you not into Bonsmara, any other breed that some farmers do? What could have inspired you? What lured you or motivated you to be specific to the Boran breed?
Boran to me is like nectar and ambrosia. Nectar and ambrosia is what the gods used to eat when they were in Olympus, the Greek gods, I mean to say, because the farmers and historians, they say this is God's gift to cattlemen.
Okay.
It is the best thing that has happened to a cattle breeder is the Boran breed. It is fertile, it is hardy, it is docile, it is a very good animal just to look at.
Okay.
So the Boran inspired me and triggered my ambition to plunge deep into cattle farming because of the profits that it can bring about. But not only that, I mean, I just love looking at that animal.
Okay, now as we close Kingdom, your final words of parting in this segment. There are people, some who are looking to start maybe an abattoir to get into meat selling, beef meat selling, or some who are looking to be a breeder like yourself. Your word of advice to those people?
My advice to anyone who wants to plunge deep into cattle business, wherever you are, whether in the diaspora, whether you are local, this is a site where you will need to engage in, because there's a lot of transparency here.
Yeah.
There's a lot of integrity here. Brings in here people that are running butcheries, that want to buy a few animals for their slaughter. It brings here people that are running big feedlots. They are here to buy feeder steers. They are here to buy a cattle for rearing so that they come up to that stage of becoming feeder steers. So this is a place where if you don't want to lose your money and you're in the diaspora and you want to buy quality, you will need to think about this place.
Okay.
There's no place, no other place where you would find this number of cattle assembled in one place and of such quality and with such a quality of buyers. I mean, you can witness for yourself the amount of vehicles that are here.
They are high value people who mean business.
They mean business and they're serious. And this is work. When we are coming here, we are coming here to work. This is a work day and we mean business. As you can see, that there's no time for play here. So I'm saying, guys, plunge in and get into it. You get everything here.
Thank you so much, Kingdom, for taking your time. I understand that the sale has already commenced, but you have taken a few minutes to come and educate the Zimbabwean farmer in terms of participating in cattle auctions. It was a pleasure having you with us today.
Thank you very much, Waz. It was a pleasure also being interviewed by you.
Yes. There you had it, viewers. We've come to the end of the second segment. We're going to go on a short commercial break. We'll be right back with this and more in the third and final segment. Stay tuned. At this point in time, I've taken the liberty of inviting Chrissy. She is the secretary of the Zimbabwe Boran Breeders Association, working with various Boran breeders. Chrissy, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, as we get into this last part of our interview, can you please enlighten us on what you're doing here today? In what capacity have you come today? Are you a seller? Are you a buyer? And what are the prerequisites that you had to fulfill in order to be accommodated here today?
So I'm here to sell cattle for on behalf of my partner.
Yes.
We farm together in Mvurwi, and yes, he's at work, so I'm here for him.
Okay, looking that you have sort of like a passion for the Boran breed.
Yes.
You breed Boran, you are also the secretary of the association. What could have inspired you? What are those characteristics that you like and enjoy about the Boran breed?
The Boran breed adapts easily in this environment. They keep their condition in drought, and they're very adaptable in any area.
Okay, now Chrissy, you would find that when you were coming here as a seller with your cattle, I understand there are certain processes and activities that you engaged in to ensure that you are bringing a live cattle which is healthy, in good condition. What are those processes that you did from your farm up to the auction?
So first of all, you have to get permission from the vet, and then you do take the vet out to the farm, and they inspect them, and then you take out the police for the police clearance. She fills it out, and after that you arrange your transport, and we only use one transporter which we trust, because we know our cattle will arrive safely.
Okay, finally, as we close, Chrissy, your word of advice, your sentiments to some women who might be working with their partners in terms of participating and also making time to come to the auction sales.
So as you mentioned, I am the secretary of the Boran Society, and I brought some new things into the Boran Society and with the members, so that I can involve more ladies, because I think ladies feel scared to come.
Exactly.
And they support their husbands on the farm, but they don't come and support them here. So I created a platform where we talk on WhatsApp.
Yes.
And I want to introduce 2 events this year. Our 10th anniversary that's coming up of the Boran National Sale on the 21st of June. And I want the ladies to come and support their husbands. I also brought in a competition every 3rd month, a photo competition. You as a breeder must enter, and there's lots of prizes to be won. So yeah, I encourage the ladies to send their husbands out to say, I go, because there's also something for them.
Exactly.
To win, yes.
Okay, thank you so much, Chrissy, for taking your time off of the sale. I understand that you're also looking at your lot that you brought in, but you've taken your time to appear on the platform. It was a pleasure having you with us today.
Thank you for having me, and have a lovely day.
Thank you. At this point in time, I am joined by Musolin Ganyo, who's the owner of Panganai Boran Stud. Musolin, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you, Wadza.
Yes. Yeah. Looking at the events at the calendar this 2025 season, we're in the early months, the beginning of the year. What can people look forward to in the Boran Breeding Society? What should they expect? What events or things that you've put in place for the expectations of your consumers?
All right, that's a very good question. This year we have got something very spectacular. We are going to be staging our 10th year, 10th year anniversary sale in June, but I'll let you know the correct dates. So this is our 10th year, whereby we are going to be graced with many breeders within the SADC region.
Oh, okay.
So people should expect quality animals, which will be gracing our 10th year.
Okay.
Yeah.
Looking at someone who's looking forward to get into the cattle business, I know you are going to speak highly and positively about the Boran. Let us advise someone who's looking, who also wants to be like you, a breeder, someone who owns a stud. What would be your word of advice in terms of the investment?
Right. As you know, we don't have big land. So it's better for people to invest into start breeding so that they add value to their investment. You are keeping 100 and someone is keeping 600, maybe the value is the same.
Finally, Musolin, what has it been like you over the years? I understand that it's been a bit of some time since I last visited your farm. What are sort of developments that are there? I always see your posts on social media, you looking excited, your cattle looking healthy. What has improved and what are you looking forward to since then?
Right, you know, in farming never stop learning.
Yeah.
So every year we have got some new developments at the farm. Our major highlight like last season was on pastures. So every year we've got something that we are looking at.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Thank you so much, Mr. Ganyo, for joining us. It was a pleasure having us today.
Thank you, Wadza.
There you had it, viewers. Today we're looking at livestock trading in the livestock industry, where different farmers come and converge. Even those who are aspiring, those who are eager to get into the livestock industry. This is a home for everyone, where you interact with buyers, with sellers, with breeders, with also those who own abattoirs, who are into meat processing, etc. From me, your host, Wadzenai Manyora, I'm also on Instagram, is at Wadzi110, and the crew behind the scenes. Have yourselves a fabulous evening. Thank you for watching.